If you're a business owner and you struggle to keep on track with your nutrition and it feels like a constant battle, that you're trying to get back on track with it, you find yourself that you're on and off of it. Well, the good news is it's not an information problem and it's certainly not a discipline problem. What it is a design problem. Most men that I speak to tend to try and eat for a life they no longer live because let's face it, business is unpredictable. You're never going to have predictable weeks in business. You're going to have travel, you're going to have networking, you're going to have client meetings, you're going to be potentially up and down the motorway or all over the place. And the problem with that is most nutrition advice that gets given, they think that your weeks are going to be very similar. They think there's going to be limited stress and loads of time available. But the reality is you and I know that time is tight, stress can be high, pressures can vary, and that means that your weeks, again, like I've mentioned, are going to be unpredictable, which means there needs to be a real simple method in play with your nutrition to ensure that you find it easy to stick to. It fuels performance, it fuels energy, which then allows you to be at your very best week upon week. The biggest problem I hear with guys that I speak to all the time is they'll either skip meals just to try and fit things in because they've always found that going to certain meetings, going to certain networking things, they don't really get the volume in, but they get loads of calorific value in. So then they're trying to almost like play a game of trying to balance both things out so it's not filling them up too much, causing them to gain even more fat, and essentially they're trying to play a game with food that really isn't needed for their current life. Or there'll be the quick eats. You'll be up and down the motorway, popping into petrol stations, popping into fast food places, because again, like you haven't got time available, so it's literally I'll just grab what I can. And then that gets paired with under eating throughout the day, which then leaves you hungry, fatigued and tired going into the evening, which then causes you to overeat at night, which leaves you heavy, tired, fatigued, and just constantly playing a game of low energy, out of sync with yourself, and not really aligned to how you want to feel and how you want to look. And you know what? I did the exact same for a good few years. Getting up at the crack of dawn, 5:30 in the morning, not getting home till 9:30 p.m. at night, eat minimal throughout the day because I had a lack of time, which then left me leaving the gym floor. And I end up getting in the car, driving home, and on the way by, I'd pop to the petrol station or have a sneaky McDonald's because I was tired, fatigued, and super hungry because it didn't actually have any structure around with what I was doing. It was all very reactive, and I was never fully in control. And it cost me energy, it cost me performance, it cost me having sharp focus within my business, and it also cost me my confidence and my physique. But here's what's truly needed, and it was a complete game changer for me when it comes to it. Your goal right now might be you want to look lean, you want to look fit, you want to be strong. Well, in order to do that, you need to drop body fat, but that shouldn't be your focus. That might be the goal, but your focus should not be dropping body fat. Your focus should be all about fueling for performance. When you start thinking around energy and performance, because when you have energy in a good spot, you then can perform. And when you've got performance in a good spot and they're both ticking at once, fat loss over here becomes really simple because you're not then needing to restrict. You're then not doing any extremes. So you always have energy in a good spot. You always have performance in a good spot. And you have this consistency of getting in shape in a much simpler way. So it's done and dusted. And it doesn't take up too many thoughts in your head. It doesn't take up too much time because it's simple and repeatable. And that is why the Performance Edge nutrition system is so incredibly important and exactly what I use with my guys that all run businesses inside Becoming Unstoppable. And here's what it can look like for you. What you're going to do is breakfast over here, you're going to have 1 to 2 go-to options. You're going to do the exact same with lunch, 1 to 2 go-to options. With your snacks, you're again going to have 1 to 2 go-to options. This removes any decision, any thinking, any sort of preparation, because these can be grab on the goes. These can be food prep, or you can actually source it in for yourself from a food prep company. So you have 1 to 2 options in each section. Dinner over here with friends, family, work partners, socializing, networking becomes a flexi dinner over here. That's exactly the pattern we use. And all that changes whether it's a fat loss goal, a performance goal, or a build goal, is just the volume of what you're consuming. You need to track every gram. You're not going to be starting again because you've fallen off track. Because meals are repeatable, they're simple, they're effective. And you've got a flexible approach to it that comes from the structure throughout the day. So you're energized, you're performing, which then drives your physique into a far better spot. Male business owners don't fail because of a lack of discipline, a lack of effort, or a lack of knowledge. Fail because the system they're trying to use doesn't match their lifestyle or their business anymore. Because that system they previously used is an older life that now doesn't actually match up with the pressures and the demands of their life right now. The whole aim with your process right now and everything that I do inside Becoming Unstoppable with every single business owner, the sole focus is train smarter, eat simpler, perform better. Because when you do that, results become effortless. Energy is always there and performance is always high, which allows you to have the body that matches your professional standards. If you're a male business owner 35 plus and you know your body and your energy is lagging behind your professional standards, drop me a DM with the number 60 and I'll send you over the exact structure my clients follow every single week.